things that wasn't making sense then make sense now.
Yeah.
I mean, so now you're able to tell the younger generation that might not understand it right now, yo, this is what you should be doing, this is what you should be looking for, this is how you should be conducting yourself, this is how you, and you doing a phenomenal job with that with Team Mac and the Making a Change group, because you're seeking those young folks that has huge, potential. I mean, and a lot of those kids that's coming out of Team Mac, they done went to college. A lot of them is college grads. A lot of them is doing very well for themselves. So, and your movement of Team Mac and the Making a Change group, how is it that, you find those individuals, or that you're giving those individuals those life lessons that's pushing them to say that, man, Mr. Corey Long gave me something, that was, tangible or valuable to me, that now I want to actually take what he's saying to me and I want to apply it in my everyday life to be what he's saying that I can be.
Yeah. I mean, to keep it real with you, man, it's tough. It's a challenge. The same way, any other business or any other venture is a challenge, because you're dealing with people and their human will, and you got to walk with a person, man, and a lot of times, man, people don't see life as people, for one, people don't see life as it is. We see life as we are.
Right.
And a lot of times people are just not ready to see what you're saying to them or the opportunity that you're presenting to them, and so through the whole, I've been doing Team Making a Change, man, since 2004, 14 years now, and a lot of those mentees, man, some of them went to college, some of them went off and are prospering and doing things, but a lot of them, just the fact that it kept them from out of the grave, you know what I mean, was a help. And then some of them, they came back and volunteered for a while, then came back and they worked for a while, and with, I'm talking about with the organization, and some of them right now, man, is really is the anchor to helping build the organization, man. Ricky Taylor, man, is program coordinator for Chester High, for Toby Farms. He's running 2 programs. We got another young lady, man, that was a STEM graduate. She just graduated from Lincoln University, man, ISA 2. She's the assistant coordinator. Angelique Satchel, she's another one that's been committed over the last 3 years, man, working with Team Mac, and Malcolm Flamer, who was my first mentee in 2004. He graduated in 2005. He's back now as a volunteer. And Michelle Butler, she spent a lot of time over the last 2 years putting in a lot of work to get Team Mac. So, but they were going through different seasons in life, and it took them a while to actually come back and say, you know what, I want to give back. Right. And to be honest with you, that's the only real trophy or award that I got to see after 14 years of doing this, was the fruit of my labor, was these people actually came back and said, because of something that you did for me when I was in school, I'm going to do it back for others, and I'm going to do it with you. You know what I'm saying? And so, it was times when I've gotten discouraged, and I've gotten, saying, what am I doing all this for, man? Corey, you could really be doing some other business or still doing something with music or something, man. But, it was when they came back and helped hold my arms up and help me continue on with these young people. It was really encouraging to me, man,
Absolutely. Now, so taking that same concept, right, and understanding nothing happens for a mistake, right? I believe part of this is so that you can put us in a position to be empowered to, take the reins with you, and then eventually we moving together so that way we can have younger people and the cycle keeps going.
Yeah.
Of course, that's important, and I'm gonna say it not for the benefit of you, but just for everybody listening.
Yeah.
A lot of times we have these great ideas in our community, right? But that idea usually dies with that person. Now we need to start implementing a structure to where we keep this cycle going for the young children. That way they can have it.
Yeah.
So what we've discussed a couple of different times where we want to bring the Jrkickz success tour into Chester High, and we're trying to figure out ways on how to do it and structure it. And it sounds like that could very well be a good fit.
Absolutely. It's just a conversation.
Absolutely.
Conversation with the school officials.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna swing to my DJ Naj B.
Yeah, my mic.
Come on up.
What?
You know what I mean? You always got something to input.
I do, man.
Yeah, you know what I mean? We want to see what you got to add on this topic tonight.
question.
So, you know, and everything that you've been listening to about empowering,
Right.
you know what I mean, what is your take on, you know, empowering not only others but yourself as well?
Oh man, I say the biggest thing I'm learning, or over the past couple years, is collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
Collaboration has been like it's like the one principle, like the thing that's like keeping me moving along, like in my career. Like I started like I've been making beats and all that stuff, like, and it become like a personal thing, like like how I got into music and stuff like that, like kind of like just listening, and then from all right, I want to make it, I want to figure out how to do this and this and that. And when you do like an art, you know, like artists are like typically like introvert or whatever like that. So you got to learn, take what you do, like, and then sharing it, and then just like build with other people. Basically, collaboration is the thing that keeps, like, you're gonna either be like at a standstill or you're gonna keep moving. So I just like, by opening up what I do to other people, you know what I mean, I've met other people, you know what I mean, even coming to the barbershop. Like, I've been in the barbershop for months before you even knew I was a DJ. You know what I mean? And just like, all right, Saturday come, or Saturday come, you just see me walking out the shop. Like, nobody knew where I was going at, what I was doing, or whatever like that. So, and then that parlayed into our relationship, and then now I'm on the show, man. It's a bunch of different ways, like, empowerment, man. Like,
So Ron, man, you've been quiet as one, man. What's your take, man? I know you got something.
I just feel like empowerment is like a roll of the dice. It can make you or break you. It can, you know, push you to go from 0 to 100, or it can sink you. But what I'm asking is, when do you bridge that gap from being an influence in someone's life to giving them empowerment?
I think, for me personally, being a barber for the last 9 years, what I've noticed, and like I was saying, I didn't even know that I was empowering anybody. To me, it was just hustle and grind, hustle and grind. That's all I looked at, was hustle and grind. But, you know, being a barber for 9 years and seeing my clientele, the young guys, you know, that then came up underneath of me since they was 14, 15, 16 years old, and now they, you know, early 20s, mid 20s, and, you know, they done went to college, then graduated and everything. And then I look at, you know, some of the other barbers and their clientele, and, you know, some of their guys is, you know, in and out of jail. You know, they come home, and, you know, my guys come home, but it's from college. Their guys come home, it's from, you know, prison. And I gotta think that it got a lot to do with, you know, me as their barber, you know, because it's like, when you get identified with somebody, it makes it a lot more easier for you to say that, yo, if Drew could do it, and I've been around Drew for the last 9 years, he's been cutting my hair, and I've been seeing him, you know, cut my hair, and now he's a business owner, now he doing his show, he doing this, he doing that, he being honored. It's like, man, if Drew could do it from behind a barber chair, I can do it. I mean, from, you know, going to school every day, getting up and just graduating, you know, college. You know, a lot of the youth don't understand just how important it is just graduating from college alone. You know, how beneficial that could be, you know what I mean, to you. And like, just not, let's take it a step back. Just graduating high school. You know what I mean? But, you know, so in my whole empowering, I look at it is I wasn't really looking at it like I'm trying to empower anybody. Me, I was really trying to get my life on track and get my life together, let alone, you know what I mean, you know, give somebody something. I was just giving people real life issues that I done been through and overcame that. You know what I mean, I can tell them, listen, you know, I was homeless. You know what I mean, you know, really I was homeless. I walked the city of Chester, you know, from the west side to the east side. You know what I mean, you know, I didn't, you know, I don't know my dad. You know what I mean, you know, so I know what it feels like for you to be in them shoes and not knowing who your pop is. But I didn't allow none of that to, you know, be the reason why I didn't go after what I wanted out of life. You know, and me telling them, you know, some of my story, you know, and it gave them the motivation to be able to be like, man, I ain't know Bree went through all that.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't think it was a moment where it went from empowering, you know what I mean, somebody, you know, to that transfer. I never thought it was a moment. I just thought that I was just engaging and sharing, you know what I mean, something that I personally was going through.
So is it a thin line between the two?
I would say it is.
I see influence as you seeing one's potential and you pushing them to be great. That's being a mentor. That's being influential. Giving one empowerment, I would say that you earning your keep. Me seeing the fruits of your labor and rewarding you.
But I think we can go a little bit deeper on that too, right? Like if we try to analyze what it is, so I can influence you by speaking, right? But like empowerment, I think it feel like it got a little bit of sense of the entitlement aspect of it. And I feel like we should focus on that part of it in our community also. Like for example, right? We had this conversation about how when our son's old enough, they gonna be sitting around every one of our meetings.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna be involved in it from the beginning. I feel like in a sense, when we're doing this now, we're giving them that leg up and that advantage that we, as the disenfranchised males in this room, lack, right? Because I'm maybe not everybody, but I'm pretty sure if we did a show of hands,
The majority.
and right, we ain't live in a house with our pops,
Yeah.
right?
It's true.
So we missing out on that. But so I feel like the empowerment part, I feel like it has more of a like where I'm setting you up, kind of like greasing the tracks, like I'm getting everything ready for you to have a smooth situation. I feel like the influence is where it's like I'm talking to you and I'm telling you my story, just like Corey talked about where, well, you said initially empowerment, but the other one is encouragement. Inspiration. There we go. Inspiration and influence. I think that's all about like an idea that you do. Maybe it be inspiration by I'm gonna do it so they can believe they can do it, but it's all a belief system. I think when you actually put the actions into place to affect this individual's outcomes, you're literally doing a task to affect those outcomes. I think that's more so when you get into the realm of the empowerment part. Definitely just my opinion, but
I would second that though with you.
right.
I mean, Nas, you seem like you got something to say, man. You been
I kind of lost it for a second, but man,
Collaboration.
Nah, not even that. But empowerment though, like just giving somebody tools and stuff like that, man, and then learning how to utilize them too. You know what I mean? Like you can, like Chris said, you can lead people to where you can't make them drink and all that stuff, man. It's just a lot of gems and a lot of things I received over the years, like you said, that just didn't make sense until now. You know what I mean? Even gifts that, you know what I mean, I still have to develop, you know what I mean, in order to become the person that I want to be. But it's been there all along, you know what I mean? But it's up to you to get to that point. So that's weird with empowerment. I think it's weird with like empowerment because somebody can give you a tool 10 years ago, you know what I mean, and you was like, it hit you that one day, like when you need it, you know what I mean?
and sometimes you can be around the right person or right people long enough, and empowerment kind of like it just, you know, overtakes you just by being around, you know, the right group or the right person,
Right.
You know, that attraction will jump onto you, like they say, birds of a feather flock together. You know, so if you're around millionaires, eventually, you know, you should become a millionaire because, you know, you're around these guys, you're studying these guys, and these guys is giving you a lot of different, you know, intake and insight on a lot of different things. So I think empowerment can also be, you know, just the company that you keep.
So is it given or is it earned?
It's a choice.
I think it could be a mixture of both, man. I mean, cause some people are the kind of person where it's like they might be walking down the street and they say like, hey, I'm gonna drop this jewel on this individual today, just because, right? And you could have been walking down the street and been in the right time just to get it right there. Boom, you just got it. That's still empowerment, right? And you did nothing to earn it. Now some can make a dumb case and say, well, he got up and walked, but you ain't do nothing to earn it.
Let me say, I also believe, man, you know, we are to empower ourselves, man.
Absolutely.
You know, we are to find somebody that's doing what it is that we desire to do and